Going live. Cody, you want to say hi? Luna? We're live, you guys. I don't know, they're not coming to you, so I'm going to take you to them. There is Coda. Coda! He's looking for something very intently. And there's Luna, who just joined our family a few weeks ago. Luna! Luna! Hey, Luna! Luna girl! Luna! They are very focused right now. So that's Luna and Coda joining me today. They didn't join me last Thursday because it was raining, and I guess they don't like the water as well as I do. I love being out in the rain when it's not freezing. Well, there you are. Hi, pretty girl. Want to say hi? This is Luna. She just joined our family a few weeks ago. Just a few weeks ago, we rescued her, and now she's living with us. She's our new girl. Okay. And she and Coda, by the way, are two peas in a pod, inseparable and hysterical to watch. Okay, so welcome to our Thursday morning inspired thoughts. I am Kimberly, and I welcome you to Make a Difference Academy. And last week, I wanted to kind of continue the idea of digging into messages that I've received over the last even just a few months. I've been looking at emails and Facebook messages and such, and it's so amazing that so many great questions have been popping up, and that these great questions are popping up in a number of different ways from so many different people. So I'm really excited to continue to cover this type of thing. Last week we talked about, how can we stay fresh with our craft? How can we stay inspired and stay innovative? And then today, again, I had a number of messages asking me to talk about this, but they came in different ways. So I'll lay them out. I wrote them down to make sure I got it right. So Lee asked, what path did you take to become an industry leader and presenter? Shelley asked, what can a next step in the fitness industry and career be? Emily asked, can working as a fitness professional be a sustainable career choice? The way you wrote that, Emily, if you're out there, that really inspired me. How you doing, Rick? Hi, Megan. And then Deb said, right now I only teach group fitness and yoga. Is there a career path for me if I want to make this something more? And so I get this question a lot when I have been, coaching teachers. In fact, I just had an amazing call with a teacher a few weeks ago, and we just talked about the different avenues that she could take. And so I'm excited to bring this to the forefront in case it could help any of you out there, because I know it bubbles up a lot. You can only physically teach so many classes, because even if you're not, doing the class all out, maybe you're coaching the majority of it, which hopefully you are, because you're there for the people that are in the room. So many teachers have fallen into the trap, I think, in the past of saying, well, this is my workout too. No, it's not. Your job is to be the coach and the leader in the room to make sure that everyone else gets an amazing workout. And so many formats nowadays lend themselves to be able to step out of demonstrating the entire hour and actually moving around the room and being that coach that people need to kind of get through the hour, which is a beautiful thing, because now we can teach more classes per week from a physical standpoint than maybe we once could, with classes like boot camp and yoga and cycling and all of these different formats that have joined what once was just high-low aerobics. And then step came along, and with those you really kind of had to demonstrate the vast majority of the class because there's so much choreography. And they're still great formats. Little mambo chasse never hurt anybody. But on one side, there's more opportunity to be able to teach without the wear and tear on your body. But let's see, Megan, you said the full-time opportunities are far and few between. Yes, I get that. I've been blessed to have one, and it's taxing no matter how much I coach. Being pumped up and enthusiastic 40 hours a week, totally get that. Oh my goodness. For the vast majority of us, the concept of even teaching 40 classes in a week would be daunting for sure. So Megan, I applaud you for all that you're giving to those that you're serving. But even if we're not, but you still love it. Yes, that's awesome. But even if we're not physically doing the workout, being a coach is, as Megan said, it's taxing. You know, because I think that sometimes it can even be more so because it's so emotionally draining in a beautiful way, because we're putting ourselves out there to help others and lift them up in their day. But by all means, and there's Coda. I was sure he would join us with his voice at some point. That was a squirrel, by the way. But I just wanted to share with you, you know, for so many of you who have reached out to me saying, you know, I can only teach so many classes a week. You know, in my early 20s, I think the most I taught in 1 week, and this is back when all the classes, you kind of did the whole thing. It was all, you know, high-low and step and kickboxing and strength training, all those types of classes. I did 27 in 1 week, and in the middle of my 27th class, I was taken away in an ambulance. So it's not necessarily advised to go all out with too many classes, but there are other opportunities that you could at least start to put your feelers out for. You know, it kind of depends on what path you want to take, because there are other paths. Yes, that happened. So if right now you teach group fitness, you teach yoga, one avenue you certainly could do with the skill set that you already have in your back pocket is take the large group classes that you're teaching and create an opportunity to create small group training. You know, it used to be where there was basically group fitness, large group classes, and personal training. And personal training is always an option as well if you wanted to get trained and certified to do that and work with people one-on-one. But over the last, you know, decade or so, there has emerged this new realm, no longer new, but group training or team training, where maybe it's 4 to 10. So it's a smaller group than we might normally teach in like a group fitness or yoga studio. But because it's a smaller group, we're able to work with each of them a little bit more one-on-one, and yet still, from a financial standpoint, make a little bit more than we would potentially personal training one-on-one, if that makes sense. So I know a lot of great teachers that have gone that route, that have incorporated group training. So you could see if wherever it is you teach, there would be an opportunity to delve into group training. And I know some places, if you're going to get into training of any kind, they require it to be a little bit more full-time than many teachers have the opportunity to be able to delve into, but it is something to look into, or maybe looking into other, you know, community fitness centers or health clubs or studios where you could, based on the hours you're available and the time that you have to contribute, take a step into that kind of group training avenue. And really the biggest difference, you know, you're still delivering these amazing workouts just like you would be in the larger group setting, but now the recommendation at least would be you want to be able to track their progress. You know, people are now going to be paying you maybe a little bit more per hour than what they'd be paying for their membership or for their per class rate to be able to take the large group class. And they're looking for that one-on-one attention. So if you get into group training or training just small teams of people, then you want to bring back in, if you remember from your certification, the opportunity to create assessments. And that could be, you know, everything from measurements to, not a fan of weight, but some people do care about that to this day. I know that's a whole nother conversation. You know, strength, flexibility, all types of things that we can assess. And then you have a starting point and an ending point for each session. So maybe you assess again 12 weeks later and see how they're doing. So that's one opportunity to go into the realm of training. If you teach yoga, you can also do yoga in that way. You can teach yoga either in small group, so that now they're getting maybe a little bit more hands-on assisting from you to be able to feel more comfortable in the shapes they're making with their bodies and kind of feel like they're, I don't like to use the words doing it right, but that it's feeling right within their body. Sometimes that takes some tweaking, and a second set of eyes can help. Or even one-on-one yoga. I know a number of teachers who teach yoga one-on-one to really help someone dive deeper into their practice. So regardless of what you teach, there could be opportunity to go into that realm of things. And then there's also, of course, management. You know, I personally went the route, you know, I started in the industry as a personal trainer and then taught group fitness, and that really fed my my training clientele. They came right out of my classes, which is a great marriage, by the way. But then I started getting into management. I got into group fitness management back in 2000, and that's amazing. You know, I had a team of 38 group fitness and yoga teachers. The opportunity to support them when they're out there, you know, filling everyone else's cup gave me an opportunity to support them and fill their cup and to this day, that's what I love to do. So, which is, why we're here and why Make a Difference Academy came to be. So you could start to look for opportunities in your area. Put your name out there. Put your name in the hat, as they say. You never know what might happen if you don't put it out there. So you can look to see if there are openings, sure, and you can wait for an opening to come up. I was just coaching another teacher about a month ago, and she was just waiting. She's like, well, I'm just waiting for a job posting, and then I'll go for it. And I'm like, why wait? Why not find out who, the managers, the general managers, the owners, or whatever of the spaces that you'd love to start to get into the path of management. Send them your resume and a letter of your interest, and that way you'll at least be, if nothing else, filed kind of in the back of their mind, so that should an opportunity come up, you could bubble back up to the surface. And if you know where it is you would love to build into a career of management, for me it was Lifetime, then really hone in on knowing about that brand, so that you can explain in your letter of interest, or maybe you end up having a conversation or a meeting with the people who do the hiring. Be ready to talk about why. Why would you want to get into management with that particular facility or company or brand? Because if they can hear a sense of passion from you for the brand, the vision, the mission of what they're doing, then I promise you it's going to make you, take that from someone who for over a decade did part of the hiring, was a part of the process of hiring managers for group fitness and yoga. We look for that because it's great if you have business skills, it's great if you have management background, but at the end of the day, we can teach you those things, but we can't teach you to be passionate about it. We can't teach you to love supporting other people. We can't teach you to, love our brand, if it's the brand that you want to, a particular brand you want to work with. So make sure you let that be known. So put yourself out there. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing is going to happen that would be detrimental that you couldn't pick yourself back up from. And if you get an opportunity to interview, even if you know for a fact there are 3 other people that are more qualified, interview anyway. Do it anyway, because the experience that you're going to get from that is going to be absolutely amazing. So, hey Brad, how are you? Do I have any connections to help you get a teaching gig at Lifetime in Vegas? You're so funny and you're so cute. I do still teach for Lifetime in Laguna Niguel, but after over 17 years of being full-time at the corporate office for Lifetime, I stepped away last year to be able to begin the Make a Difference Academy. That said, drop me an email, because I am still connected to the managers there, and I would be happy to make just an introduction. So, and then another realm that is, relatively new in our world. It looks like I got bumped there a little bit. So another realm is, you like that? That's the inside of my hand. There you go. That's always fun, right? Okay. All right, I think I got it straightened back out. I love technology. I'm no good at it at all. Another realm, so just 2 other realms to share with you, 2 other paths, I should say. One would be coaching. Coaching is a big thing now, almost an overused term. We talk about coaching while we're teaching, but so many have delved into the opportunity of becoming a coach. Lots of different kinds of coaches. There are life coaches, wellness coaches, nutrition coaches, and what type of coach you want to be is going to be what determines, what type or level of training you want to go out and seek. And there are certifications and opportunities to learn how to go about that the right way. Just like becoming a personal trainer, you can become a certified coach as well. And so it doesn't take much time on Google. But if you find you're hitting a wall, just reach out to me and I will help in any way that I can. And then the last but not least, so that I don't take your entire morning away from you, and I probably get asked this one the most, outside of the management one, and that is the world of continuing education and becoming a facilitator. It's probably another squirrel. Becoming a continuing education provider, or what's known as a presenter, so leading workshops, instructor trainings or certifications, or teaching at the conferences and such. Daniel, how are you, brother? And this is definitely a road that's possible, and that world, the world of those who teach other teachers is always needing new talent. It's always needing fresh faces and new energy and new, really passionate people who want to become teachers to the teachers. So that being said, a lot of people think that going that route is a moneymaker, and I just want to be really clear that it's not always what it's cut out to be as far as the financial side. It's really something, just like teaching in and of itself, you have to want to do because you love it. You have to want to do it because you have a desire to lift other teachers up. And are there opportunities to make money? Yes, there are opportunities to make money. But it isn't necessarily going to be that sustainable career choice unless you really partner up with a brand that is able to give you a lot of work. So there are a number of different ways you can get into it. You can just start, and how most would start is just to become a continuing education provider. If you go to acefitness.org or to the AFA and NASM website, any one of those websites will give you step-by-step instructions on how to become an approved provider, which means now you're able to create workshops, intensives, trainings that you can now offer to the community that will provide CECs or CEUs for other fitness professionals, if that makes sense. Or if you become a continuing education provider for the Yoga Alliance, you can offer opportunities for yoga teachers to earn their hours to renew their registry. So no matter who you want to be able to offer credits for, education hours for, you can go to their websites and have a pretty straightforward approach on how to become a provider for them. It does take a little bit of time, usually at least 30 days or so to get approved. I can tell you with ACE, one of the really cool things with ACE and AFA is as you complete the information, like the paperwork, to become an approved provider, part of the paperwork is submitting your first workshop. So before you even go in to try to become an approved provider, think about what that workshop could be. If you could have a room of 10, 20 of your peers and be able to talk to them and to teach them something you've learned and that you're passionate about, and it could be content specific, it could be new ideas for teaching strength training classes, or new sequences for yoga. It could be anything that you're passionate about, or you could go beyond content and it could be something that's a bit more inspirational, like how to build great relationships with your students and clients. So think about, okay, what could I offer in maybe a 2 or 4 hour workshop based on my experience and what I'm really passionate about that I could put in front of these amazing continuing education organizations to potentially be approved as a provider. And then that will be reviewed. And again, it's a step-by-step process, especially, ACE I work with a lot with all the courses that we get approved. And they make it incredibly intuitive and easy, where it's literally plug in, okay, now what's the timeline of the workshop? What are the students going to learn during this workshop? And it's really, I won't say easy because it takes thought and it takes time, but it is a simple process. So think through it, think about what you'd be passionate about teaching other teachers. And then once you become an approved provider, should you get approved, now you're an approved provider and you have a workshop you can offer. And you can take that a number of different directions. You can either reach out to the facilities in your area or maybe the facility where you teach and ask if they would be interested in hosting a continuing education workshop, because you are now a continuing education provider and you have an approved workshop that can offer CECs for your peers. And once you have a host site, now it's about getting the word out so that you get instructors to come. And if you're doing it locally, please, even if only 2 or 3 people sign up, do it. Do it. For a couple of reasons. One, those 2 or 3 people did whatever it is that they needed to do to make it happen to be able to come be with you. They paid whatever fee you set, they rearranged their schedule, jumped through whatever hoops were necessary. And so do it to honor them, because even being able to lift one person's day is an amazing thing that will leave you feeling more fulfilled than you could imagine. But for another reason, it's experience. Sometimes when you first start presenting workshops, it's even better, I would think, to have, maybe smaller groups to kind of get your feet wet and start to find your rhythm. And it will take time. So just make sure you don't get discouraged, because it can take time to find your rhythm and find your comfort zone, and honestly just to feel confident in your own skin as the leader in that room. Because it's one thing to be a leader in the room as the teacher, the instructor, when you've got, you know, fitness or yoga enthusiasts in the room looking to you to take them through whatever class it is you're teaching. It is an entirely new ball game altogether when now the room is filled with your peers. So you really need to work towards finding your confidence level within that as well. And for those that I've worked with, that's been the greatest hurdle that they've had to cross over, is just finding the ability to be confident to say, I've got something that these people can benefit from. You know, even if there's those in the room that have been teaching twice as long as me, I have something that I can offer that will benefit them in some way. You have to know that, because your experience is your experience. So, and I've always said that I don't care if you've been teaching for 1 year or 20 years. The person that has been teaching for 20 years has as much to learn from the one that's been teaching for 1 year as the one that's been teaching for 1 year has to learn from the instructor that's been teaching for 20. So these opportunities to come together and have you know, continuing education be on the forefront of what we're doing, it's just huge, and we all get to learn from each other. So that's one route you can go. You can also, by all means, reach out to the different conferences. And it could be local or regional conferences that are coming your way, or you could reach out to some of the conferences that are either, you know, have a national platform like Idea World or DCAC or CanFit Pro. Sometimes it's you know, it's a little bit smoother path to start with a regional and get your experience there, and then you know, work your way up to some of the larger national events. I don't want to say are more picky with their selection, but let's just say they have a really large pool of international presenters that they're pulling from. So, you know, reach out to another, you know, great tour of events would be the SCW Mania events, of course the Empower events, but you can send your information. You know, I would suggest you could certainly find out if they have a certain process to be able to submit yourself as a potential presenter. Okay, by all means. Otherwise, just make sure you send them enough information to find out who you are, what you're about, what you're passionate about, and that you have the ability to deliver education. So you're going to need to send a headshot and at least a bio, if not a resume, but usually bios are okay for conference settings. You want to send your workshop title, description, multiple if you have more than one, so that they have an idea of what it is that you can provide. And then don't forget to send a video of you leading content from the workshop. It doesn't have to be, honestly, any more than 10 minutes. Most conference organizers aren't going to have time to watch more than that anyway, but they want to know how confident you are standing in front of a group of people, and more importantly, how skilled you are at being able to engage the group. So really work towards that. And if this means that you have to create a mock workshop to be able to get this video done, that's what you do. That means that you call on your friends, especially your friends that are also instructors, teachers, get them to get into a room so that you can, and this is an opportunity for you to practice, and you do what's called a mock workshop, where you're leading them through the content so that you can videotape, and someone on the other side of watching that video can see that not only do you know your content, you're confident standing there as the leader in the room when your peers are sitting there, but also engagement. So make sure that you have engagement between you and the people that are in the room. Because if it's just you standing up there as a talking head and they're just sitting there quietly staring at you with no reaction, no response, no engagement between the two of you, no circle of energy happening, then, you know, it's not likely it's going to draw a lot of attention for the organizer. So I can tell you those are the things that I look for. You know, when I was overseeing Empower and people would send their content to me, I'm looking for energy, confidence, knowledge, and engagement. So whether you're filming a live workshop that you've put on yourself locally, or again, you have to create kind of a mock setup, you know, that's what I would suggest. Making sure that you bring to the table, and do it multiple times if you have to feel good about it, but also know that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect, and trust me, those that are sitting in the seat of a conference organizer, or those that are looking to select their new presenters for whatever it is they're doing, a conference or series of workshops, instructor training weekends, they're going to be able to see, even if you make mistakes, it's okay. They're going to be able to see if you have this kind of natural passion for what you're able to do. So bring that energy to the forefront more than anything. So I think I've probably taken enough of your time. Just wanted to quickly go over and saying hi to Coda down here. You want to say hi to Coda? Say hi, Coda. Coda. He's not going to look. He's too busy seeing what else is going on. Coda and Luna. The Coda and Luna show. So just a quick recap. If right now you teach group fitness, yoga, or you're a hybrid like myself and teach both, and you want to, potentially branch out into something that would be considered more of a career path, then your options are to get into personal training, group training, which is a variation or kind of a hybrid between personal training, one-on-one, and group fitness teaching, and get into that. And you can do that no matter what the format is. So don't doubt yourself because you teach strength training or because you teach yoga. One-on-one yoga is happening all around us, and you could be one of the yoga teachers offering that to clients that would be very grateful for your service. So that's a route you can go with the training. You can go the route of management. Put yourself out there, reach out to the people that would be the ones doing the hiring. Maybe find the brand, if there's a specific brand that you connect with, that you share their mission and their vision, and put your name in the hat. It's huge. I've seen a number of people end up stepping into the management role because they raised their hand and said, I would love to do that, instead of just waiting for something to pop up. So then there's coaching, and a lot of, again, great trainings and certifications out there. If you want to be like a life coach, a wellness coach, a nutrition coach, different avenues you can go there. And then, of course, getting into continuing education and being a facilitator or a presenter, where now you're teaching other teachers different skills or giving them different ideas and or inspiration that will assist them on their path in being better at what they do. And I've actually, of those things I've listed, they have been what have shaped my path in these last over 25 years, and I love them all. I think my favorites are, of course, teaching classes, and then teaching or training, mentoring, coaching other teachers. They're the two that have always risen to the top and allowed me to be really excited to jump out of bed every morning. And so I encourage you to find that for yourself, to find what it is you could be doing with your time and your energy. You have this one big, brilliant, beautiful life you've been given. So find what it is that's going to light you up. Find what it is that's going to have you wanting to jump out of bed every day. And with that, yes, being in this industry can be a sustainable path. There are a number of different directions you can go. If you find yourself hitting a wall, my email address is kimberly@makeadifferenceacademy.com. If I can assist you in any way, whether it be bringing up another topic and sharing it on our Inspired Thoughts, or just helping in any way that I can, that's what fills my cup. So let me know. But otherwise, in the comments, just let me know your thoughts. Are there any other avenues that you've thought of? These are the 4 that jumped out at me. Are there any other areas that you've gone down, other paths that you've gone down to make this industry more sustainable for you as a professional? Or are there any things that you feel like you would like to know more about, or would like to delve into? Share that. And if you feel like this video would support others, that maybe you're in a group, share it in a group, share it on your wall, share it on your profile. You're welcome to share. Knowledge is meant to be shared, not owned. Excuse me. And with that, I'm going to send you off on your Thursday. I really appreciate you being here, whether you're here live. I see you all there, and I thank you so very much, or you're catching the recorded version. Thank you very, very much, and I will be back with you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Inspired Thoughts, that's Pacific Standard Time. Mwah! Much love to you all.